Hey everyone, here's to the end of 2021. Okay, I wanted to kind of do a wrap up of 2021 and everything that I went through. And I don't know if this is something that you're even remotely interested in, but I do feel like some people will benefit from hearing this. So, as a lot of you may or may not know, for the people that have been following me for many years, in the beginning of 2021, I decided that I wasn't going to wait for the pandemic to end anymore. 2020 pretty much, it was a write-off as far as an income for me. 2021 proved to be worse. We had so many mandates here in our province, and I wasn't allowed to have, people in my home studio unmasked. So it wasn't like I could photograph people with a mask on. So that was a struggle. And so what I decided to do was I decided to go back to my original career. I was a mortgage broker for 13 years, and I had my own company, and I had a super successful business, and I loved it so much. And never in a million years did I ever think that I would be a photographer or that I would leave being a mortgage specialist for photography. In 2008, the financial crisis hit, and I had a lot of time on my hands because the majority of the clients that I worked with were real estate investors, and the majority of the lenders that I worked with were American lenders. And once that financial crisis hit in 2008, they left Canada. They literally packed up and fled. So I had a whole portfolio of clients that could no longer refinance or renew or anything with their existing investment properties because the lenders that were willing to do the more creative financing left. So I had a lot of people that lost their properties that they invested in, and it was really bad. So I was pretty dejected because I helped so many people, and it was so much fun, and I had so much success. And to go from, making this much money to this much money overnight, it was devastating. I did have a bunch of lender rewards. So somebody gave me my first camera, which was a DSLR, and it was Pentax. I don't even remember, guys. I don't know, it was so long ago. So what happened? Oh, I don't know. I got completely addicted to it, like obsessed. When I realized that it wasn't just taking a picture with a camera, that I could go into Photoshop and I could manipulate it and change it into art, I was hooked. And I've always been artistic. When I was younger, I drew, I painted, I did all the art stuff, and that was definitely my passion. Once I started spending time with photography and learning studio lighting, I didn't shoot natural light for a good 4 or 5 years. When I started photography, I only shot studio. I was addicted to Kelby. Kelby was where I learned all my studio stuff. Also Photoshop. I believe I attended a Photoshop conference in Alberta like 13 years ago. And I just loved it. I loved it. I loved the fact that there was no, like when you're in real estate or you're in mortgages, there's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of protocol you have to go through. There are rules. And I loved that with photography, there were no rules for me. After a couple of years, I decided I was going to give up my real estate license and my mortgage license and do photography. Do I regret it? My husband says to me to this day, I believe it's something you had to do. And based on the level of obsession that I had, I would agree. However, if I could have a do-over, would I do it again? And my answer is no. I struggled with the earning a living part of the photography thing. I think why so many photographers struggle with it is a couple of things. So number one, because we love what we do and we enjoy it and it's passion for us, it's very difficult to put a price on it. However, as a common sense businesswoman that I was for 13 years prior, I knew that I needed to look at the business side of it and figure out my cost of doing business and what I would need to earn in order to not only just pay my bills, my mortgage, all that stuff, but also make some money. I don't care how much you love what you do. You need to make money unless you have a different job. And because I gave up my actual career for this, I felt like I was good at business and that I would be better than most people, but it's a different world, guys. Like, it's different. And my favorite clients that I've ever had doing photography were fellow photographers. And the reason for that was because they got it. They understood the amount of money that you have to spend on gear, the amount of money that you have to spend on lenses, on lighting, on backdrops, on stands, on plugins, on software, blah, 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 right? Like we all talk about it, we all bitch about it, we all know, oh my God, people just don't get it. If you can get Mary Jane down the street and she's gonna take pictures of your children in the snow in a pretty set, and she's gonna charge you $150 and give you all the digitals. And so for me, I thought, I'm different, I'm better, because I'm gonna give you 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 images out of an entire photo shoot that are going to be edited to perfection, artistic. I only gave wall portraits. I did not ever give you anything other than high-priced luxury items. But no, they want $150 down the street. I really struggled with it, and I really honestly got tired of it. And kudos to all the photographers who live in areas that people are willing to pay and appreciate their art. I get that. That's wonderful. So, you know, a lot of thought went into this in January of 2021, and I decided, you know what? I'm just over it. I'm going to be 55 this January, and had I stayed in mortgages and real estate from 13 years ago, I probably could have retired by now. I made $40 on YouTube last month. I finally got monetized though. But here's the thing. I never wanted to be a YouTuber. I never wanted the pressure of, oh, you have to post once a week, or you have to post twice a week, or you have to post. I wanted to post when I felt like posting so that you guys got the best content out of me because I wanted to do it, not because I had to do it. And although I really appreciate all of the photographers that are YouTubers and that have built a business and make a lot of money, I appreciate that. I respect that. I envy them that. I knew it wasn't for me in the fact that I can't be held to a schedule or dictated to, or you better get creative this week because you got to make a YouTube video. It's not really my thing. So now the fact that it took me 8 years to get monetized and I'm finally monetized, do I care? No, I made $40 last month. So my Teachable school, I put a lot of effort into it. I do a lot of in-depth advanced Photoshop teaching. I have really amazing actions, textures, overlays, all of that stuff. I put more of my effort into that because if someone spends $100 for a course in my Teachable school, to me, they're investing in me and I'm investing in them. And you are going to see the results because I try to be very, very strategic in how I teach and very common sense. However, most of my courses are a little more advanced. So if you're a super beginner, I'm not the girl for you. But once you get a little bit better, come back because intermediate to advanced is where I sit. That's my happy place. And I think you'll learn a lot. So just the other day, I released a brand new course on Teachable, Santa and Christmas portraits. They're very Norman Rockwell. So if you're interested in that and you like it, but you're not really keen on Christmas stuff, trust me, you can apply this to so many different types of painterly fine art portraits that even though the content might be Christmas or Santa, not interesting to you, the techniques work in everything. And I will show you a couple of images now. So all of these were created using the identical techniques that I used in my Christmas Santa course. And, you know, I just really wanted to talk about 2021 because it was a really hard year. It was hard, guys, it was hard. You know, I spent the majority of this year getting relicensed, so that meant taking a really difficult course and, you know, struggling with studying every single day. I wasn't used to that anymore. My really old brain is not into that. So I had to really sit down and force myself. So 2022, I'm finally all licensed. I'm back up. I've spent far too much money on my education, my licenses, my monthly fees, my monthly dues with zero income yet. So I'm very excited that come 2022, I'm going to be back at it. And as far as this channel is concerned, I'm finally monetized. Does that affect me? No. $40 a month, I think I think that's fine. I don't know if $40 is really anything. And to be honest with you, I don't foresee me getting a bunch of more subscribers. I don't see myself getting a whole bunch of more activity. I like the people that follow me now and have for years, but I'm going to continue to do it because it's still my hobby. It's still my passion. I still think I can give you value, and I think you can learn from this. You might very well be a hobby photographer, a hobby artist, and I think that if that's the case, you should continue to pursue this passion. Not everybody is going to live in a place like me where it's very difficult to convince people to pay you for what you're worth. Honestly, I'm just over it. I'm over the industry as a whole, teaching in associations and competing in PPA and stuff. I'm over it. I have an image, which is a funny story, that is in the World Cup. I don't know if you know about the World Cup. So the World Photography Cup is like the Olympics. I know I hear a lot of photographers say that the PPA is like the Olympics. It is not. No. World Photographic Cup is definitely the Olympics. I have 2 images in this year, and one of them didn't even loan in PPA. So you just have to know where to place your work and where not to. So if you don't get loans in PPA because you're a little creative, maybe your subject is a little sexy, it's probably not going to fit there. WPPI is a better bet, but those are not the only 2 places to compete. If you want to compete, Europe has a million competitions and they love creative photographers. So go there, do that. I'll let you know. I'm going to do a few other different things in 2022 because I love competition. I love it. I think it feeds your soul, and I think it also elevates you. I just don't feel like my style and what I do is appropriate for PPA. If you do corral painter and you like puppies and birds and dogs with hats, that's the place for you. But it's not for serious, creative, digital photography artists. It's not. It's just the reality. So everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you have done. All of you subscribers, everybody in my Facebook group. Like, I love you guys. And I'm so happy to see my Facebook group finally ramping up and people sharing what they have learned from my techniques, my textures, my actions, everything. I've always felt like it's just been kind of lame in there, and I can say that in the last 3 months it's ramping up, so I'm happy about that. If you have any questions, if you have something particular you want to see, don't be afraid to comment in any of my videos, because, for instance, this Christmas set that I just did is because a photographer reached out and said, Nikki, I really want to learn this over the Christmas holidays. Could you post a video? Yep, absolutely, I did it. So don't be afraid. Additionally, I do have a workshop planned for Virginia in March, and we just found out where I think we're going to do it. It's a beautiful space. It's a studio, also has an outdoor component to it. It's going to be a little more expensive this time than in previous years, and the reason for that, sadly, is because the venue itself is very expensive. I want to get paid models. I don't want rando people coming in and saying, hey, I'm a model. No, I want to get agency models. I want this to be worth your money. So the cost for the actual workshop is going to be $1,500 a person. It's going to be a 2-day event. It's going to cover full shooting, full wardrobe, full models, styling, all of the amazing stuff, plus a full edit day. And if you want to be a part of it, I'm limiting it to 20 people. Just let me know in the comments below, or you can DM me, whatever you want to do. But I will be releasing the exact location and the exact dates shortly, probably sometime in January. And just because with COVID and what's happening right now, I have to be 100% sure that travel is not going to be limited for me or everyone else coming. And as soon as I know 100% where I go, we're going to do this, and I can hardly wait. I cannot wait. I love Virginia. I love going there. All of my previous students from the previous workshop are already coming. It's going to be so much fun, and I would love to have you there. But anyway, once again, cheers to 2022, and thank you for being a part of the ride. It's been a blast. Can't wait to see you again. Cheers.